Hey guys, welcome back to the Team Never Quit podcast. Thank you guys for listening, watching, most importantly, subscribing. Hey, listen, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe on YouTube because we're about to drop a bunch of new video content, especially a secret project we have in the works right now here at TNQ headquarters. So I've got a Patreon question for you guys, all right? Riley asks, do you go to a mental happy place when you're uncomfortable or in pain? And if so, where's that mental place? Where's that mental happy place?
Oh no, I stay in the moment. I embrace the suck and the pain. I don't like leaving.
So there's a book, the book
Marcus
of Five
goes,
Rings. It talks about making your martial arts mentality, your fighter mentality, be your civilian mentality, and your civilian mentality, and vice versa. So as your happy place will change, as the unhappy places that you visit. I mean, if it's the same one, you will find a way to choose some joy inside of it. And as you go through life, man, if you remember that and kind of, like Morgan said, we learn to thrive in the chaos is because we've learned to create happiness in it.
Yeah.
It kind of moves, and as that moves together, you got to stay sharp in that life now because it'll eat you up. I mean, it will. But there's no place where you can't achieve that if you don't work. I mean, all you have to do is work hard enough and believe in yourself.
what about you, Meyer? What do you got?
I would agree with what you guys are saying. A lot of the stuff that I've learned throughout my entire career in the NBA, which has been 8 years, is I almost thrive in that moment more in the playoffs when I want somebody to get tired. I want shit to get tough because that's when I know that the mental edge will take over. Everybody in the NBA is gifted physically. It's up here. It's like Bob Knight said, I think it's mental is the physical is 4 is the 1. So it's, that's when I'm ready to thrive. So, and plus when you go through pain in your life, even away from basketball for me, that allows me to excel later in life because now I have a certain threshold for understanding.
Yeah, there's a bar. Yep.
Yeah.
And the only way you can achieve that is to get into the situation.
100%.
So I mean, if you're talking about it and avoiding it, man, then it's probably, it's gonna go down.
Absolutely.
I heard a catchphrase the other day, and I've heard it. It's been a while since I've heard. You guys probably know this, but it came back up to the front side, and I forget. I can't even remember who said it. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
I was like,
Absolutely.
I'm getting that tattooed somewhere.
We've got somebody great for you guys in store. Hey, if you want to ask your question to the guest, to the host, make sure to join us, patreon.com/teamneverquit. We've got a great guest in store today. Meyers Leonard is an American NBA player for the Miami Heat. He is a co-founder of Level Foods, a company that makes and sells protein bars. Hey, Meyers, welcome to the show, man.
I greatly appreciate you guys having me on. I am super excited for this. I've followed both of these guys for many years and the podcast as well. So I've done my research and looked through obviously the guests. So to say the least, it's an honor to be here. And once again, thank you guys.
Yeah.
We got a classified file on you, man. You are now
Classified.
part of it. Yeah, this is the interview process. Welcome to it.
Appreciate it.
So why don't you take us back to how you got your start in the NBA? Because obviously there's a huge story to that, I'm sure.
Yeah, everybody thinks, hey, you play the NBA, you must have been born that way.
Yeah.
They never understand the struggle or what it goes through to become something like you are.
And it's a big deal from the type of people who like watching the end result, like what you've become. That's the highlight, right? That's where it's at. And then you'll have that group of people who are like, man, I want to do that. And and that's kind of the ones. I mean, that's the ones you want to reach around and talk to because they're like, hey, because when going down that path, they actually have somebody to look to. That's the coolest part about what you do and especially under the pressure y'all on the camera, everyone watching.
Mm-hmm.
So,
give it to us, buddy.
Yeah, sure. So I would just start by saying that, I mentioned earlier, the type of people, Rob O'Neill, Mike Day, the full list of people that you guys have had on. And I would say, again, I'm humbled to be here, but I'm thankful that I feel relatable. I think that even though I'm 7 feet and I play in the NBA, I'm just a normal blue-collar dude who's been through the struggle on and off the basketball floor, and it's really built me into the man that I am today. So I'll take you back to my childhood a little bit. When I was 6 years old, my father passed, leaving behind my brother and my mom and I. And so times were tough. I mean, we slept on the hardwood floor with blankets, no electricity, no running water. So I knew this sucked when I was younger. And, when you're young, you don't exactly know because you're not providing. But I would say that even from an early age, I knew that the two things that would help get me by no matter what were my character and being a good person and my work ethic. So that was just how I carried myself every single day. I was a good student. I worked hard. I respected everybody. You know, I love sports. I love being a part of a team. And obviously that correlates to you guys. You know, it's always team first mentality. You know, obviously the SEALs and many other people in many other professions are very, very talented, and they're there for a reason, but they've also put the work in. And a lot of times it's selflessness. It's how can I help the team? Because then in return, normally you're going to perform well and be locked in and ready to go. So that was from an early age. And, you know, I started to try to choose my sports. I ended up going into baseball and basketball specifically. And I remember after my freshman year of basketball, I was 6'4" and probably 175 pounds, maybe soaking wet. Like I was tall and thin.
Yeah.
And I didn't play 1 minute of varsity basketball. I mean, I'm 6'4" from a small town. Like that should do, right? But I didn't play one single minute. And I remember bawling my eyes out in our home basketball gym there to our athletic trainer who had actually played college basketball. And I said, man, I can't take this anymore. I didn't play. I'm upset. I'm going to baseball this season, and I'm giving up basketball. I'm going to put all my eggs in one basket. He pretty well looked at me like I was absolutely out of my mind and that he was going to take me under his wing. About 5-6 months later, I had grown all the way to 6'10". Don't ask me how. My knees and low back hurt like hell for those months and moving forward up until I got to 7 feet. But then all of a sudden I was on the AAU circuit. I was starting for our high school team. By the end of my senior year, we won a state championship. I mean, it's absolutely crazy the grind that it took. You know, I was in the gym every single night, literally every night. And I was trying to lift and eat as many calories as I possibly could to try to keep some weight on. Along with the state championship, I ended up getting a Division I scholarship to many different places, but I chose to stay home. Loyalty kind of runs in my blood. So I wanted to go to University of Illinois. Man, I feel like I could keep talking. Keep
going.
Come on, man.
That's what it's for. People,
okay.
Believe it or not, people are fascinated by this.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was treacherous, man. So I wanted to quit basketball in high school, then I didn't. All of a sudden now I'm, starting and win a state championship and get a scholarship. I get to college and don't play a lick. I played something like 9 minutes, averaged 2 points and 1 rebound, something completely ridiculous like that after being a very, very highly recruited high school player. So once again, I walked in my coach's office, similar to my freshman year of high school. It's my freshman year in college. I'm feeling like, I'm good to go. Don't play not any minutes. And I wondered to myself, like, what the hell am I going to do? And he says to me, hey, I'm on the board of the USA basketball committee. I want you to try out for the under-19 team to represent the United States of America, which, by the way, we'll get into this, I'm sure, at some point. Like, my brother's United States Marine Corps. I feel like, America like runs in my blood. The opportunity to play with you.
Yeah,
exactly.
It does.
USA on my chest. Like, I'm thinking to myself, I told him, I'm not good enough. I don't want to try out. I'm not comfortable doing that.
Because that's the coolest uniform of all.
Exactly right.
Out of ours, out of everyone that walks around the country, I mean, that's the deal. Because everybody's rooting for your ass on that one.
Exactly. So when I thought about it and I said, okay, fine, let me think about it for a day. And I finally said, okay, I'm going to train as hard as I ever have, and I'm going to go try out for the USA team. Long story short, I ended up making the team. We went over to Lithuania and Latvia. I played very well. The very next season, just like my sophomore season in high school, my sophomore season in college, I dominated. I was in unbelievable shape. Like, the amount of work, again, so many college athletes, whomever I'm talking to, it's a high school or college athlete. Once I get to the NBA stuff, it is truly about the work. So many people get this confused. Like, so many guys were out partying and doing this and that, talking about the NBA. I was like, I'm trying to make the USA team and then eventually go to the NBA. Like, it's all right there in the work that you have to put it in. So I ended up being a lottery pick after my sophomore season at University of Illinois. I went number 11 to the Portland Trailblazers.
All right, guys, time to take a second to thank one of our sponsors, Grammarly. Listen, there is way more to clear, effective communication than just catching spelling mistakes. I always joke about the fact that I grew up in a small town and I didn't learn all my words very well. And the truth of the matter is I probably just didn't apply myself as much as I did. And you guys have probably heard Marcus and Morgan talk a little bit of mess to me because I can't always get my words out. Yeah, I struggle a little bit, all right? But listen, I've been using Grammarly now for the last 5 to 6 years, and that is because it helps me with my communication. Yeah, sure, spelling, that's awesome, but it helps me with real-time insights on tone, word choice, clarity, and so much more that really does help me communicate way more effectively. And you think about it, when you start to communicate so much and you write so many documents and all this other stuff, things start to sound the same. You don't want that to happen. Grammarly Premium's got you covered, all right? One of my favorite features is the vocabulary suggestions. It helps you avoid those overused words. It helps you with redundancies. And more importantly, it gives you guys some vocabulary recommendations that might help you sound a little smarter. Get rid of those boring words. Get rid of those bland words. Use exciting, effective ones that are going to be a bit more memorable, all right? Now more than ever, we're writing a lot from home. We're sending more emails. We're creating presentations. We're having to communicate with people because we're working from home. And probably more importantly than ever, you need to be able to communicate effectively. And Grammarly Premium is going to help you guys do that because they're going to help you write like a pro with advanced real-time feedback. It's really going to help you level up your writing, whether it's for work, school, personal projects, whatever it may be. The other cool thing too is that you can use Grammarly on a lot of platforms. They've got it on their desktop editor. They've got a browser plugin, their mobile apps. I literally use it everywhere. I use it on my email. I use it on my computer. Anywhere I'm allowed to use it, I'm using it to make me sound better, all right? And it doesn't help me talk better, but it does help me write better, all right? Elevate your writing with 20% off Grammarly Premium by signing up at grammarly.com/TNQ. That's 20% off Grammarly Premium at grammarly.com/TNQ. You guys check them out.
Like it's all right there in the work that you have to put it in. So I ended up being a lottery pick after my sophomore season at University of Illinois. I went number 11 to the Portland Trailblazers. Here I am, a young, 20-year-old trying to figure out life. I met my wife now during that sophomore season. She's been definitely is the biggest blessing on my life. And man, that was crazy. I went.
What's that like?
I was gonna say, what is it like?
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, broke ass college student, because we know the deal on that. To at 20, you said at 20?
20.
And then you're a millionaire on the main stage. That's got to be all at the same time, the coolest, scariest.
Yeah, is it different walking into the show, like when you go up to the NBA court, because you're playing on college TV? I mean, that everybody's kind of watching, right? But sure. I mean, you can feel there's a pressure difference, right? Or is there not?
No question there is.
Oh. No question.
No question. In college, I was still the tallest, the most athletic, all those things. And it was still a struggle. Like, shit was still hard. But now, 20 years old, I'm dropped in Portland, Oregon. Like, there couldn't be a bigger difference from Robinson, Illinois, a small farming community where I'm from, to Portland, Oregon.
Right.
So I mean, the grind was real. It truly was. I went through so many ups and downs. Like, I was trying to figure out how to become the best NBA player I could be. I was working on getting married. Like, I went through a lot of shit in Portland.
Yeah, way to throw those things together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Don't make it easy on yourself.
Marriage, that's hard, man.
No, it is. Like, that's the reality. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm just a normal guy. Like, I go through real people shit.
Right.
And so I hope that people hear that and they know that no matter how much money you make, no matter what your profession is, no matter where you're from, none of that matters. Everybody goes through real life problems.
No. So I think I've noticed that's the difference. Like, when we all go through, people feel sorry for you, but when the money connects, like, oh, they got money, but they, suck it up. Nope. I mean, they think that fixes something. It doesn't. Everything kind of. We were talking about this the other day, man. You know why money's the shape of the way it is? It's not triangular or circular or anything. I have no idea. I just thought it kind of looks like a brick.
Because it folds well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It looks like a brick. And the more of those bricks you stack around you, or the more people see of those, they have to work their way through that before they even get to the real you. And most people don't even want to see that. That's how you know the difference if somebody wants to come hang out with you no matter what you're doing, or they come up and need something from you.
Amen to that. That's. I mean, again, it's a juggling act. Like, exactly what you're talking about. Is this person trying to be my friend, or that they want something from me? I think back on all the relationships that I've shed from my life, the ones that I've kept around. Like, there's not many real relationships. I'm sure both of you know that. You got your family, you got some close friends, but you're not always sure what people's intentions are, man. And that shit is hard, especially as a youngster.
We got the same crew we've been hanging out with since junior high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some since kindergarten. We're all still together. What's it like? So in the teams, when we were going along, if some guy went to a different platoon, or y'all like getting shit to do a different team, or you get hurt, and you pull off the line. I mean, guys just don't talk to you. It's nothing personal, man. It's just like this kind of the train's going this way, and if you got to step off for any second, it's tough to stay in that momentum. It just absolutely is. And even I mean, when you would switch from one team to the other, you still keep in touch with some of those guys, or that takes up all of your time, right? Because when you're off, then it's the wife.
Yeah, 100%. That's like balancing real life versus NBA life. And so, like, yeah, when I'm away from basketball, I'm a homebody, man. I'm with my wife, I'm with my dog, I'm hanging out, recovering and do whatever I need. And then when it's go time, when I'm between the lines, it's like ultra focused. So yeah, things change. I spent my first 7 years of my career in Portland, Oregon. And then this last year we went to the finals with the Miami Heat, and I started every game up until I got hurt. So I'll make a couple points about that. In my 5th season, in Portland, it was by far the hardest year of my life and by far the hardest year of my career. I was dealing with a lot of internal medicine issues. I dealt with pretty severe depression and anxiety. And it's like you were talking about just a second ago, Mark. It's like people think we're almost like robots, man. I'm 7 feet. I'm big and strong. I got millions of dollars. I drive nice cars. I do cool things. I'm still a normal human being, man. Like I was going through it. That shit was hard. But I just counted on the work every day, my family and my wife, to the people I trusted around me to help me get through this time. And basically who I was also. Any day that I walked through those damn doors, there was 2 things no one will ever question about me, and they never will. That's my character and my work ethic. And that's just, I never have ever allowed that to leave who I am and what people see in me. And I'm hopeful that that's what people see. And so that 5th year was tough, man. But now, like we said earlier, I have a certain threshold for, what I can deal with in my life and just be able to keep moving with it and it not be a problem. So this year was awesome, man. Like I said, we went to the finals. I started every game up until I had a like you just mentioned, like injury. Now all of a sudden you're kind of removed from everything. Like COVID, I had my injury and then COVID hit. And they basically said I should have fractured my leg. I had a lot of bullshit going on with my ankle, but you know what? I stayed ready, man, and that's what I'm most proud of.
A lot of people have a little. It's great to hear you say this because a lot of people have when if they do get sick, or depression, anxiety, if it's some sort of emotional problem or they get a physical injury, they'll just spiral out of control down the rabbit hole and never recover. And it's good to hear you say, even at your level, and that you have real people problems. I got shit going on. That. Oh, yeah. It's the fight. It's the grind. You never quit, right? I mean, that's exactly our mantra here. Yeah. And I'm glad you put that on the air because people need to hear that.
Yeah.
I think when you get money, that pulls away the problems that you have. Like we're all born, then we all have the same problems. And then the more you go through life, the more you pull in. And being famous and a pro basketball player comes with its own lifestyle. Like the minute you get set in there, it doesn't matter if you got that pro basketball, that title behind you. Everything comes with that.
Yep.
I mean, the good and the bad. You know what I'm talking about? It's just like one bigger, however you want to slice it. Oh, it's its own thing. It's a living thing because we love it and we watch it and how it plays out. I mean, it does and the reason people kind of clamor towards it is because you guys are going through some problems that they're not.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They don't have those problems and they look at them as not being a big issue, but sometimes it is, man. It's a lot of weight to carry.
It is a lot of, again, it's a multitude of things. It is destroyed. Money has single-handedly destroyed a lot of relationships in my life, a lot of close relationships, by the way. And I've dealt with that as a man. I've kind of found a way to compartmentalize those issues. That way I could, take care of my family and the people who really matter and my career. I cannot believe I forgot this part. I went through that year, and this is one of the most important parts of, I think, personally, my career. I went through that 5th year and I decided, all right, I got to change some things up. So I went to Los Angeles instead of staying in Portland. I went to Los Angeles for that 6th summer of training. And I was like psychotic with it. I've always felt like I've worked pretty hard, but I took it to a completely different level. I hired a sports psychologist. I had like bodywork people, nutritionists, you name it. I was doing everything. Working out 2 and 3 times a day for like 6 out of 7 days for the week for 3 straight months. I came back for that 6th season, played well, but then I had dug a hole in Portland. So again, a lot of people put in the work behind the scenes and they're not reaping the benefits right away. It's okay. That's what happens. Like you got to keep going. It's like this, like, again, it seems, for this podcast, like never quit. Now my 7th season, all of a sudden I get one opportunity. It's at the end. It's at the very end of the season. I had gotten spot minutes throughout the year, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, like, when the hell am I going to get my opportunity? Well, at the trade deadline, we basically took another center, which told me, Meyers, you're not good enough to play for us in the playoffs. So the position that I was in at that point was either say, screw you guys, I've given you 7 years of hard work, high character, good guy, good teammate, always there for others, and just say, screw it, I'm done working out. You know what? If you guys want to throw me in the game, fine. But the truth is, I had something tell me deep inside my head and in my heart. It's like, you are going to get your goddamn opportunity, and you better be ready. So this is at the trade deadline. 2 months go by, we're into the playoffs. All throughout those 2 months, I had done nothing but grind. Weights, conditioning, extra film, studying every scouting report for the chance that I get in that game. I better know every single thing that every single player on their team is going to do. I walk into my coach's office, game 3 morning of the Western Conference Finals. Mind you, I hadn't played in about 3 months at this point. He said he wanted to talk to me. I said, okay, what's up? Like, what could you possibly want from me? I haven't played. He said, you're starting tomorrow night in game 3 of the West Conference Finals against the Golden State Warriors, who at that time it's like the dynasty.
Yeah, right.
The only thing I said to him was, I'll be ready, and I walked out. I'm not sure if he expected that, but that's because I knew I had continually put in the work rather than say, you know what, screw this, I'm done. I've had enough of this. Game 3, I played very well, and then game 4, my final game in Portland, we ended up getting swept, unfortunately, but I had 30 points, 12 rebounds, and like that is what completely changed the entire narrative about me in the NBA. Now all of a sudden my peers and the coaches and the entire league knew that I could play, and that I had waited for this two moments really, but that game 4 is what did it for my NBA career. That's what allowed me to get traded to Miami. It's like I could have quit. I at some point I wanted to quit. But I was like, dude, don't do it. Like, it's been 7 years. Do not give in. And all of a sudden, it was like national TV. I went from getting booed in that arena individually in that 5th season.
Awesome.
Like,
I'm not laughing at you, bro. I'm just mad. It's just awesome.
No, seriously. Individually, like, it was heartache, man. And then they ended up, like, they're chanting my name. Like, it's polar opposites just because the simple fact that I just wasn't willing to give up. I wasn't going to fucking do it. Like, there was no chance I was giving up. And so, thankfully, that's what changed my career. And now here I am, ready to sign another contract and keep my career moving forward.
No finish line.
Yeah, you kind of get into it far enough where it transitions. Like, man, I didn't think about quitting. I just thought, man, this sucks. You know what I'm talking about? And you make it all the way down to the bottom to jump back up. It's like once you make that lip on that roller coaster, man, you go back down that valley. It's like you want to push back up, and each time that ride gets wilder and wilder. And I've noticed sometimes like, I'm gonna get this guy to teach me how to eat the diet, and I'm gonna have this guy do my shakes and this guy do my workout. And I'm like, man, well, they're doing all that. I'm not. I'm just lifting what they're saying, right? So I remember when you stay hungry back in there, when you get like, all right, I remember what it took for me to get to this kind of spot, and sometimes it's good to clear all of that stuff out of your way. And just remember why it is you're there in the first place, and harness that energy and get that smoldering back and get that fire going. Because once that does, man, the power that you had that pushed you in the direction that you're in right now, that doesn't burn out. It gets shifted, right? And whatever your next focus in is where that goes.
I'm sure the missus was on your shoulder every day saying, "Stay the course," too, right?
100%, man. She is my rock. She's written on her website and everything, her personal experience, but not to get too much into it, but basically I would leave. And then as soon as I'm pulling up to that arena, I'm feeling all this anxiety. Like, I got booed by this crowd. That's just my reality. That doesn't mean I'm soft. That means I'm telling you how I really felt. But she was always strong, man. Whatever I needed, you got this, Meyers, you're good. When I would leave, that was her time to just let it go. I never knew, by the way. I was so caught up in everything I had going on and so emotionally drained all the time that I didn't see my own wife was struggling because she was strong as shit. And when I left, that was her time to just let it out, cry, do whatever. And then guess what? When I got home, whether I played, I didn't play, the night she was there when I got booed by her fans, she was strong. Meyers, you're going to be okay. it's like, it blows my mind how strong my wife has been and how much she's just cared about me. She don't care about my money. She don't care about fame. She doesn't give a damn. We're college sweethearts. Like, it's so far beyond that. And the fact that she was so strong through those hard times, man, it's unbelievable.
That's an amazing one. You married the right one.
Yeah.
I'd call
Got
home,
lucky.
I'd call home from deployment. My son had just been born, and I had to go on deployment and call home. If I got a chance to Skype, smile on her face. Come to find out, every time she hang up the phone, break down just having the worst time. I mean, but every time checking in, smile on face, happy go lucky, and would not hang up ever. I had to hang up, and so you married the right one. But that's good. But a lot of people, you need somebody like that on your shoulder. You need somebody.
It's lucky to get a unicorn. I mean, I caught one of them too. That's when you know it's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm gonna do whatever she tells me to do. What the hell you think?
Exactly. The boss.
That's it.
All right, guys, time to share some love to our friends over at Paint Your Life, all right? Listen, if you're looking for a special gift for someone this holiday season, something truly unique, something personal, I've got an idea for you. You guys have sent me emails about these guys before because of how cool they are. At paintyourlife.com, you can have an original painting by one of their world-class artists done by hand from any photo you got at a truly affordable price. This year, my mom has her birthday and Christmas like 4 or 5 days apart. And for her, sometimes she feels like she kind of like misses out because, when your Christmas birthday thing's so close, sometimes they just forget about you. So this year, we're going to do something special. We're finding some photos of her grandparents, and we're going to do something truly special with them. I'm not going to get into the details because I know my mom listens to this podcast. But if you want to get a professional, hand-painted portrait created from any photo at a truly affordable price, you can send them any picture, whether it's your children, yourself, a family, a special friend, or cherished pet, whatever it is, all right? You're going to take it, work with one of their artists. You'll get a custom-made, hand-painted portrait ordered in less than 5 minutes, and you can usually get the portrait in about 3 weeks. I'm telling you guys, this is the perfect holiday gift. If you want to get something cool for somebody, get it. I got mine of my dogs. It's amazing. I love it. It's hanging up in my camper right beside my little camper bed. Listen, they're going to hook you guys up. That's what our podcast sponsors do, and we love that. Check them out. PaintYourLife.com. There's no risk. If you don't love your final painting for any reason, your money is refunded, guaranteed. And right now is a limited time offer. You're going to get 20% off your painting. That's right, guys. 20% off, free shipping to get this special offer. All you guys have to do is text the word TNQP to 64,000. That's TNQP to 64,000. Text TNQP to 64,000. Paint your life. Celebrate the moments that matter most. All right, guys, let's get back to the episode.
But no, one thing I love about the SEALs, man, I just got to tell you guys, during that 5th season, I was searching, right? I've always had this connection to the military. I'm like, okay, the SEALs, duh. They're the ones who can get through all this hard shit. They go through Hell Week. They have all these, different things they're doing. The creed is just something I use it as a caption every now and then on social media because I just think it's so damn powerful. It's like I'm going to be physically harder, all these things, and that's what my team, my nation, for you guys, what was expected of you. It's not, it's just what our core being is, and that's something I keep drawing perspective and obviously I'm not military, but just wanted to mention that because it rings so true to me, the team first mentality and just the willingness to never quit. I mean, you guys could attest to it. I'm sure you saw guys who were more physically gifted, maybe in better shape, whatever, during Hell Week. Guess what? You guys made it through.
Those are the ones that go. Those are the ones that are.
When we came in there the first day, and they have us all set down in this thing. They sprayed us with water, and you're kind of looking around at all the specimens that are there. And this one dude, I mean, you kind of got in your head it's what you think gold should look like, and what fool's gold when it's sitting right next to it. It's like, man, what? And this dude was freaking yoked up. I mean, just looked like he could just run forever. And I mean, within about 3 minutes, this joker was done. I mean, just done. Right? And it's the ones that the one difference between us when we graduated was our height was a little bit off and our weight was 170 to 190 or something like that. After you get into the program, then that's when the weird stuff starts happening. But we all come out similar. We laugh. The reason they call it budge training is because, man, they jerk everything away from you, beat us to death every single day to your buddies, to your buds. Yeah. Because if we snatch everything away from you, you still got each other. You can build it back. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you want. And we have sayings like the only easy day was yesterday. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have any idea if tomorrow's coming, yesterday's gone. You leave a time remnant because it'll show back up. And then you you got your day. And you seize the hell out of that thing, no matter how you get put back in the game.
No question.
Yeah, I mean, when one person's going, okay, when y'all are in the team room, and talk about when because you when you start to go down, you get hurt or injured. Do your teammates still come up and talk to you, or they kind of stay away, or is that situational dependent? Because there's the whole superstition, like, man, he's hurt, I don't want to get that in my head. I mean, because recovery is different than.
Sure. You know what? I would say that it depends, but for example, the Heat are known for this Miami Heat culture and, conditioning tests, and, it's more militaristic. There's certain expectations, like we do weight and body fat every single week. Like you have to hit a certain threshold, the whole thing. And when I was recovering, and I knew I wanted my starting spot so bad, but I knew that I wasn't healthy yet when we got to the NBA bubble. And a lot of people have reached out to me, and my teammates have thanked me for my time in the bubble, because the truth of it is I really helped us win games all year long. And that was proven via our wins and the statistical, analysis of when I was on the floor. I was really helping us win. And I just wasn't ready. But guess what? I wasn't sitting over on the bench, like when I'm not getting my time, or, I used to start. I wasn't feeling sorry for myself. Here I am 8 years in the NBA wishing I was playing. That ain't it. I knew that I could be a voice from the sideline, and so many people saw it on TV. And honestly, I'm thankful to have had a voice in our locker room, even though I wasn't physically playing at the time. And, then all of a sudden we get all the way to the finals this year, and I'm still recovering, still trying to get ready. And boom, all of a sudden our starting center goes down. And so Spo, our head coach, said, Meyers, I need you to start in the next game. I said, no problem, I'll be ready. We're talking about Dwight Howard. We're talking 4-year, 3 or 4-time defensive player of the year, absolute monster. I knew I'd help us win that game because I was physically able to take him away from the glass, and I could space the floor and knock down a couple threes. Played really well in that game. And then, we ended up losing the finals. But the point is like, once again, I'm never going to quit. Like, I'm not just going to be a bad teammate. There's so many times in life where I think people, regardless of the profession they're in, or if they're going through high school athletics, or they're, trying to get through college, or whatever the hell they're doing, it's like they forget that, like, what the daily grind is like, and that it truly takes that every single day. And just to be a good person, man, like, it truly blows my damn mind that people just can't figure this out. Like, if you find your passion, you work hard, and you're a good person, normally things are going to work out, if you ask me.
If you add stuff to that, it will get difficult. That's what puts you in a bad mood. You can't be the good person. The best teammates and the ones that cheer on, the ones that they're stepping aside that are hurt, because they know all about the team. They can talk smack like nobody else, better than the coach, to get the guys' heads back in the game and out of it just by saying one word. I mean, that's it. When the way you said is like, sometimes, man, it's when you go into that level, it's also to make you reappreciate the freaking grind of what everybody's going through, and why some guys, a little upset sometimes, and that emotional toll that goes with what y'all do. I mean, it's different for everybody, and that's a real thing. It's powerful. So when you got the guys who are injured, but they don't care about that, they're just fun. They're fun to be around no matter what. No matter what the situation is, man, they're in the game, because it's not just on the court; it's everywhere. If you're an athlete and you play the game, it's always on, no matter what. The jiving back and forth and what we do, man, we're picking on each other. That creates a mental strength. That if they run onto the court and hear it, if someone else is saying it, they'll get upset. If you say it, man, it's like, oh, that's supposed to be a joke, right? Yeah. And once you can go through that kind of stuff, man, that's what holds that team together.
Exactly. And I'll mention this, actually, part of, a team understanding each other and what, where each guy is from, for example, or what what they're about. I had a pretty interesting, I guess you'd call it a dilemma when I was in the NBA bubble. So obviously there's a lot going on in America right now with Black Lives Matter movement. A lot of things have happened, and a vast majority of the NBA chose to kneel. And it was a very difficult decision, but I knew where my heart was the whole time, is the way I'll put it. I had many conversations. I started with, the captain of our team, African-American guy, been in the league 17 years. And I didn't know what to expect when I asked him to sit down. Maybe he's going to tell me I'm absolutely crazy, and, this team's about to reject me if I stand. He wasn't that way at all. He was completely rational. He said, look, Meyers, I would have seen it a mile away if I knew you were a bad dude. Like it's clear that you're with us, but you have your own real life personal experiences towards the military and the anthem and the flag and all that. And I said, absolutely. So then, I had other conversations, obviously, with my brother. I called him. I said, look, I'm in a difficult situation. He said, I knew this call was coming. I know where your heart's at, and I know what you stand for, but you're also in a difficult situation because everyone's going to look at you like, well, this is a tall white dude who's standing. Like, what does he really stand for? Is he with us or is he against us?
Right.
You got to realize the NBA is the vast majority are African American, men, and so it was interesting, but I'm thankful that I listened to my heart is the way I'll put it. And, it wasn't easy. Chef actually told me, he's like, dude, you're getting dealt a shit sandwich. And I was like, you're right. Cause no matter what end what side of the damn sandwich I bite, I'm being dealt this. Cause it's like, how much scrutiny am I going to get for this? And then, but I know I'm going to get a lot of love also from the people who know me and know my heart and know that, patriotism runs deep in my damn family. So I just, I don't know. I'm thankful that my team said, hell no, we got your back no matter what. If they got something negative to say, tell them to come talk to me. This is Jimmy Butler. We're talking multi-year all-star, superstar. He's like, dude, we ain't got no problem with you. I'm glad you're listening to your heart and doing your thing. That's the true sign of a team, is when you could set your differences aside or understand someone's real life experience and the pain that they've felt towards something to allow them to still be themselves. So.
All right, this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, remember the days when you were always ready to go? Well, listen, you can increase your performance, get that extra confidence you might be looking for in bed. BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and you can take them anytime, day, night, even on a full stomach, so you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises, all right? If you could benefit from more confidence where it counts, Blue Chew is the fast, easy way to enhance your performance. Blue Chew is prescribed online, licensed physician, so you don't have to go to the doctor's office or wait in line at the pharmacy, and it'll ship right to your door, and it comes in a discreet package, all right? They're made in the U.S., and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're going to be cheaper than the pharmacies, no awkwardness, you don't have to leave the house, and right now, we've got a special deal for you guys, all right? Visit BlueChew.com, get your first shipment free, and when you use our special promo code TNQ, you'll just pay $5 in shipping. Again, that's BLUEChew.com, promo code TNQ to try it for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper choice, and we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. And hey, remember, when you guys support our sponsors, you help make this podcast possible. So please, be sure to use our promo code TNQ. Check them out, BlueChew.com.
That's the true sign of a team, is when you could set your differences aside or understand someone's real life experience and the pain that they've felt towards something to allow them to still be themselves. So I don't know if you guys have ever.
Yeah, no, I mean, just long as if your team backs you up,
we noticed what you did.
Yeah,
we
sure.
understood why you did it, and we've.
But some of us can't kneel, man. We can't do that. And when it comes to the point with, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I just applaud your authenticity when you. I mean, even when they called you on all the different sitcoms and were asking you, hey, explain yourself. You did it so eloquently, and it's just like there's. I think the country just needs to know it's okay to have your passions and what you believe, your beliefs. It doesn't mean that you're a racist or an asshole or you hate everybody else. It means, hey, look, man, I got something else going on here. This is what this means to me. I need you to understand it. If you don't, I'm okay that you don't, but don't hate me for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that speaks volumes to your teammates as well. I mean, I'm sure that was a pretty, high anxiety situation for when you
sure.
first
And I mean, overall, sports are the one thing we go to where we're all playing together.
Exactly.
Like we all get along, play together. And then you
Yeah.
drop that in there, man. Everyone's already upset. And with you, when you said your teammates back you up, well, the people who were upset with you, usually that means that they were fans of somebody else. And if they see that they respect you, well, then that's how that works, right? They're only mad at you because somebody else would have been that they look up to. But if all y'all got each other's back, what you're supposed to, and they can tell, like you said earlier, if we don't have any hate in us, that's a thing. You just know that. You just know it.
A lot of people ask us, hey man, what do you guys think about everybody kneeling? What doesn't that piss you off? And it's like, no, kneel all you want. I mean, we put foot to ass for country, wearing that flag on our shoulder every single conflict, every single war, every single engagement. So you could do that. And if that's your thing, by all means, have at it. But I don't do that. My brother doesn't do that. The majority of us, served in the services, we may not do that. But it's okay that you do. I think if anything, as Marcus was saying, the sports was the uniter. I mean, we stopped a world war in order to have sports. And it's sometimes it's disheartening, and I'll just be brutally honest with you, Myers. It's sometimes disheartening for us to see it in sport, because that's our getaway. That's our way to leave the politics and the ugliness behind, to watch you guys just have a great time and unite either two towns, two cities, two states, or the country going at it in a friendly game of sport. Anyway.
And I follow up with this too. It's like you got everyone's attention, but you can't. Yeah. I mean, you can't fight from your knees. You can't get something done from your knees. You got to get up and move. Now that you got everyone's attention, now we move forward. I mean, like I said, let's get everybody back up on our feet, playing together, doing what we need to do to get past this. And it starts with each one of us. Love the ones you're with and around you. Love them with all you got, and just do that. If you're trying to overreach into some other place, you're reaching to some other place you won't even be able to. I mean, it won't have an effect. You start with the ones that are around you.
First of all, what you just said a minute ago is like, Chef told me to my face, he's like, bro, it's an honor to meet you. I'm like, dude, what are you saying to me? Like, you're a SEAL 6 operator. Like, no, it's an honor to meet you. He said, no, we do what we do, and then we get away and we get to watch you, and we're thankful for doing that. And it's just your guys' selflessness and your mindset is just it's always just been so intriguing to me, and that's just who I am as a person as well. But I said to people, look, I didn't want the attention from this. That's the last thing I wanted, but I knew it was coming. So I wanted to be prepared. And I essentially said, like, look, number one, you can be both. I could support the military because of my brother and many other connections to the military and the anthem and all those things, but still understand that there are real issues in America, and that I can support my teammates and what they've felt in their real life experience. It's like, I don't understand how it doesn't have to be so one way or the other. It's like, we need to come together. Like that's what you were saying. Like, sports is supposed to be unity, right? So we're figuring it out, but thank you guys for saying that. But it was a difficult time. I mean, for 4 days, man, I probably slept like 2 hours a night. I was so nervous about this damn decision, but I knew in my heart what I wanted to do and needed to do. It was just one of those things, man, where, it's a tough climate, so to speak. So
yeah, did you get any grief from the fans?
You know what? It was interesting. At first, I didn't get a whole lot because I beat it to the punch. I had our team local writer basically put together a piece that explained the relationship with my brother and I, his service, and then the fact that I knew and involved. I am involved in many, many things off the floor as it pertains to the military, and that, again, you could be both. Like, I can support the military, but this is my stance and this is how I feel and this is why. And so luckily that kind of, I did get some hate, but then when the finals came, they they started airing the national anthem again on TV. And this is against the Lakers and LeBron, so a lot more eyes on me and my team. And boom, out of nowhere after game one, I didn't play a minute in game one, by the way. And it's like, you racist son of a, this and that, and you don't stand for the right thing, and how could you do that to your teammates? And I'm just like, when someone attacks me and my character and like what I stand for, that's when I have an issue. Also, they brought my wife into it and tried to include her. That for certain is not is not allowed by me. So it's just it's interesting, man. I would say that for the most part, I got a pretty good reception, and I think that's because I explained myself pretty well. And just the personal connection, man, like listening to some of the stories, Marcus, I'm just going to say, like, reading your book, man, like tears like coming out of my eyes, man, like this shit is real to me. And I try to understand like what you guys have put yourself through, and the fact that you fight for our freedoms, like that means something to me. And that, listening to Chef talk about these guys going through these problems when they get back, and listening to my brother and his stories, it's just like, man, that's like the ultimate respect for me. And so I got to make sure that I'm firm in what I believe while also being open to others.
We are supported by Stamps.com. Hey guys, this holiday season, more people are going to be mailing stuff off than ever before, all right? That means the post office is going to be insane. You don't have time for that. Stamps.com is going to bring the post office and now even UPS shipping right to your computer. You can mail and ship anything from the convenience of your home or your office. And with Stamps.com, anything you can do at the post office, you can do with just a few clicks on their website. Plus, Stamps.com saves you money with deep discounts that you can't even get at the post office. And I know that because Team Never Quit has a Stamps.com account. We use it to ship out our orders, and that is because we can get 5 cents off every first-class stamp, up to 40% off priority mail, and up to 62% off UPS shipping rates, which means if you're a business owner, you should be using Stamps.com. And that means Stamps.com is a no-brainer, all right? Saving you time, money. It's no wonder that over 900,000 small businesses are already using Stamps.com. Don't spend a minute of your holiday season at the post office this year. Sign up for Stamps.com instead. There's no risk. With our promo code TNQ, they're going to hook you guys up with a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments, no contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in TNQ. That's Stamps.com, enter TNQ. Stamps.com, never go to the post office again.
Yeah, I got to think that somebody's going to try to back you down. Stay on the ground.
Exactly, man.
I hope you know we notice. And I don't know if you want to disseminate down and in through the organizations, but we are on the receiving end of that out here, and we notice. And we notice both sides. And as veterans, we appreciate both sides. So please send that out and say, hey, look, we respect everything you're doing on both sides. We keep it up. You know, that's your God-given right. That's what we fought for. And if you stop doing that, I mean, what the fuck are we doing this for?
Yeah, because it's alienated itself between the two groups. Well, then none of us, if we're not part of those two groups, we can't say anything. We don't have any input on it. You know what I mean? And like, man, we love all y'all.
Exactly. And I was asked by a very prominent African-American writer. He actually said to me, Meyers, I want to sit down and talk with you. Like, you actually really opened my eyes to something totally different. Like, thank you. And I'm like, I didn't really mean to do that, but sure, we can talk. And he said, look, man, the fact that you were willing to stand firm in what you believe is impressive to me. And the way you spoke about certain things, and the fact that you're willing to be, you actually use your resources and your voice for the other side of things as well. But, I was also asked, like, well, how do you feel about your teammates? I said, they have every right to do that. I'm not stopping them from doing that. They have felt that real life pain and experience that I never have as it pertains to police brutality. But guess what? I have seen bad shit happen to good people in the military. And that hurts me. That's my emotion towards this. And that's why I have to do what my heart is telling me to do. So, we're kind of spinning on the same thing, but at the end of the day, like I mentioned, man, it's just like, what's in your heart, man. Just be a good person and work hard, be about other people. At the end of the day, all I want to do, all my wife and I want to do is impact people in a positive way. I know for me, my main thing really is the military. And then we have some other things going on. She's into her thing, but that's just what it is. I know that there's people out there struggling, and I've been more than blessed. I have the resources to do that. So I'm going to continue to do that. Whatever I can use, my voice, my resources, anything. That's what means something to me. Because what am I going to put a bunch of $100 bills in my damn casket when I die? No, I want to be known as a man who, I don't know, did something for someone else. I guess it's really not that complicated to me. The way I think about life.
Sure. Like, talk about the way you played the game, or the way we played every game of life and ball on the court and off, man. That's the best part. And it brings balance to everything if you mix it up like that, because you can go down a rabbit hole in anything we do.
No question about that. Whew.
Speaking of your wife, do you want to kind of give her company a shout out? Kind of talk a little bit about that. Tell us about, it's Level Foods, right?
Yeah, sure. I would gladly. So it was same thing. Fifth season. I had just found that nutritionist I mentioned. He had said, like, look, a lot of this probably has something to do with your diet. Among other things, you should cut out gluten, dairy, and processed sugar and a few other things. I said, okay, no problem. So I started to feel better, and I was eating the right foods and doing the right thing, but the snacks that I was bringing home, my wife was not okay with. They'd have gluten in there, they'd have this, or they'd have that. So basically, she decided to get in the kitchen. She looked at a couple, name brand, popular bars, and looked at the ingredient profile and said, all right, I think I can figure this out. So I went on a 10-day road trip. I on a long East Coast swing. This is when I was in Portland. I come back and there's protein bars sitting on the counter. I'm like, what the hell is this? She's like, just try it. So I try it, and it was actually pretty good. I'm like, the hell is this? So she kept making them for me. Just healthy protein bar alternatives that I could eat. I started giving some to my teammates, started giving some to the coaches. And all of a sudden, it was a year of development, actually a year and a half of development, and now we're 2 years in and 1 year of going to market. And man, it's exploded. It's Level Foods. I am for certain that it is the best tasting bar and with the highest level ingredients on the market, period. And again, it's truly, it was to help feed me and make me healthier, but at the same time, we want to impact people and give them something good to eat. So that's what the truth of the whole company is. It's our brand. It's like how we feel. We want to impact people, but obviously it's a business as well. So
man, well, that's another way you see your nature to help people. Because a lot of people, when they have those great recipes in the family, those are the ones they call the secret recipe, right? You don't ever can those out. That's the best stuff, man.
Exactly.
Like, oh, my buddy's
So
got to
true.
try this, man. You didn't even believe it.
by the way, I got to send you guys some if you want to try them. I'd love to.
I was gonna say,
Hey, you already
I'm
talked
glad
it
you
up
said
now,
that.
I'm like,
Hey,
dude.
so what's that shirt do you wear? We're gonna have to add some team guy clothing to your
Is it like a curtain?
wardrobe.
Is it a curtain?
Yeah, is that
I
curtain?
say,
What size is that? Curtain?
Curtain
Damn
or
near.
drape?
2X works.
2X long?
I mean, if you have it, yeah.
Oh, we
what
get
we
our
got.
hands about around
Pretty much
anything.
something up, I'm sure.
Oh my
I
god.
do have some. I do have some of your older stuff, but
It's called
a little
vintage.
strong.
Vintage.
Throwback, classic, OG.
Yeah, we got.
I
we got. We're headed back out to the East Coast here next month. A buddy of ours is changing command. He was the commanding officer of SEAL Team 8, so we're going to be on the Team 8 quarterdeck, and we'll snag you up a bunch of Team 8 gear.
Awesome.
And I retired out there too, so we'll hit up Team 10 and Team 4 as well, and
That'd be badass.
slide you some SEAL Team gear.
I do have one question for you. Could you guys tell me quickly about? I've read a little bit, but I want to understand more about your guys' foundation, if you don't mind.
Which one, buddy? We're part of. Marcus and I got a split.
Well,
You talking about the Lone Survivor Foundation?
Yes, Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor
Yeah.
Foundation.
Okay, so that was started right when I got back. And its
Yep.
basic premise on that is when I got back from the mountain, they sent me home to the ranch to heal up. And then
Yep.
so what we did was we reinvented that thing. Work on me and work on anybody
Yep.
kind of premise. And a lot of this, I mean, there's 43,000 non-for-profits. I mean, our generation, they covet the warriors. I mean, we really do. Hadn't always been that way, but now our people truly love their veterans. And a lot of times the guys will go out on the trip by themselves and come back to a family, then they'll just digress. I mean, you truly have to, if you've been with the family the entire time as you're going through war and deployment, then you need to heal everybody up together. And we just kind of remove them from their elements. That's what you do, because if you're in a depressed mode and you're kind of suffering every single day when you get up, then that's the environment. You got to shift that immediately and pull all that stuff out of the way, and the body will reconfigure and conform itself. And we put the stuff in the kind of the what you're supposed to do, working on the land, working with the animals and stuff like that, to build up that base, and then you go back in hard and heavy.
Got it. All right, cool. Well, I'm just going to say this. I haven't even talked to my wife about it, but she'll be cool with it. I'll reach out after this. I'd just like to say that I certainly want to give to whatever you guys think is the best direction for an amount of funds. Don't want to say it here. Doesn't matter to me, but I would love to help you guys out in any way I can. Because again, I mean this is an honor. Seriously. I know that we're just normal guys who, whatever, work hard and cool people, but I want to give back. So,
Well, God
I'll
bless
follow-
you.
I'll
Yeah,
follow
man.
after.
Yeah, we appreciate you, bro.
Hey Myers, tell people where
course.
they can follow you, your websites, your social media. You want to shout some of that stuff out?
Oh, sure. I mean, I'm not really for one to push myself
It's all
here.
good.
Don't worry, we'll take care of that
take
for
care
you.
of that for you, buddy.
Yeah,
I got you. But no, it's just at Meyers Leonard. A lot of people spell it M-Y. It's M-E-Y-E-R-S on social media. And then I'd love for any and all support from my wife mainly. at Level Foods on Instagram. She's amazing. She's the rock star of the household. I always tell people that, man, I'm just a blue collar dude who's tall as shit and plays in the NBA. She thinks of all the cool stuff and, is always developing cool content and whatnot. So
and it's awesome being married to a woman like that. That's because I say the same thing. I'm like, man, I literally get to go around and do this. You guys think it's hard? I'm like, missus. So when you give a shout out to the wife and what she does, that's what makes our life better.
Dude, no question, man. I tell her, I said this earlier. It's like it blows my mind how she just crushes life, man. I'm just kind of a big old dork who just does whatever.
Well, we were gonna get along famously then.
Yeah. Once you got us as friends, you got friends for life, bro.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again for doing this.
Exactly. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the show. Let us know what you think. If you like this episode, make sure to leave us a big fat 5-star review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, we've got some new podcast gear, flags, TNQ shirts, all of that stuff available. Shop.teamneverquit. If you want to get some exclusive access to the show, join us at patreon.com/teamneverquit. Hey, Meyers, thank you again for joining us. And we'll see you guys next week.
I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. God bless.
This is the Team Never Quit podcast. So buckle up, Buttercup.